What it is.
Yes.
My children
Wow.
drink with Zama. We were wasted, but no one could tell that.
We're live.
Oh.
Oh,
We
my
had
gosh.
wasted money.
Oh,
Yeah.
like a
Mushi
certain
man.
government currently in South Africa, our land. Yes,
Our
that's.
land.
Oh, it's not our. Their land. Their land.
Their love island.
Oh my
Yes,
gosh, guys! You know what? Our introductions are never the same anymore.
Ever.
It's just messy now. It's just like, but I love it. It's fine. It's an accurate representation of
From
us.
the studios of Joe.
From the studios. Oh my gosh, girl! Let me show you how professional that is. Oh my goodness.
I'm just waiting for you to do it. I'm smiling like I'm green.
From Johannesburg, South Africa.
Hey!
You are listening to What the Relationship with your host, Candace.
Bushel, yeah.
And a taco.
If you're looking for a podcast that gives advice on relationships in a very unconventional manner, we're hoping we'll make a great pair. Today, we are getting our swirl on. You know, chocolate, vanilla, some Oreo, some coconut, some caramel. I don't even know what more to indicate that we're talking about interracial relationships in not our land. To be honest, this is not a topic I came up with. This was Insako's idea.
Was it mine?
Oh, it was Bootleg.
Yeah, I was like,
Bootleg, what?
Give me my credit.
Give Bootleg. Shout out to Bootleg. Okay. Anyway, what inspired you to talk about this topic?
I think that's a very easy one. So we all watched Meghan Markle, the Queen.
Yes.
Okay.
Her Royal Majesty.
The Queen.
Yes.
Royal Highness.
Yes, darling.
You mean that? Oh.
Wow.
What?
She's like, who
What?
was having
Who's having
that conversation? Silence or silence? Oh, guys, there was so many.
Too black enough.
Oh
Yeah.
no, that whole interview was fire.
So this conversation obviously came from a place of watching Meghan Markle and Harry, and the interesting conversation of like interracial couples. I hope I said it right.
Yeah.
And in our podcast, we definitely have some chocolates and vanilla swirl. Top deck. So I thought I was like, if we're talking about relationships,
Yes,
and you got somebody, you know, who's dabbling in that vanilla chocolate.
dabbling.
Someone who wants to dabble.
Someone who has dabbled.
Okay, when is this?
Girl, you don't know me. You don't know my past.
Yeah, so that's why you're on the podcast. We want to know, when was this?
Yeah, so I thought let me bring it up, and also
Uh-huh.
it's a fun conversation to have. Well, fun and so many things to unpack from Meghan and Harry. So, Candace, when you were watching the interview,
Oh God.
what was going through your
Oh
mind?
my God. A lot of things. Firstly, the royal family needs to be dismantled as an institution. It's bizarre to me how they're professional celebrities, right? That's how I see the royal family.
They're basically influencers.
They are professional celebrities, right?
No, they definitely influence.
I love this for her.
Influence people that you don't know what they're telling.
Influence
about
people
is,
to death.
but you just
No.
we're all doing
That's
something.
too much.
No, I'm an influence. I can say this. Zako is looking at me in a way that I don't enjoy. But that's what all the celebrities say about influencers.
But they're
Besides
very
the topic.
professional because there's a long history of influencing.
Yes.
You know, so I think firstly from there, you know, academifying the royal family, I just feel like there needs to be a conversation about them just being dismantled because we don't really need them. I don't know what their purpose is really, other than maintaining racist, colonial, and white supremacist institutions. But anyway,
It could also
conversation.
be probably like a history thing. Like,
Yeah, but what is that history based off on? Colonialism, racism.
I think
white
they just need to
supremacy.
adapt to be able, like, if I don't know.
You see, but that's not the topic of today. We're not being paid to be royal advisors, right?
See,
I love that talk, by the way.
maybe you are the institution that they were talking about, though. Like, if you become a royal advisor, you are the institution. That
You're
they were
part of
talking
that
about.
institution that maintains that.
But they don't
form of
have
by
black
institution.
people,
That's
so
the
they wouldn't have this
thing.
problem.
You see, there's
No,
a
they
lot.
do have black people.
Where?
They're just in the kitchen and in the toilet.
Oh, black.
Did I lie? Did I lie? No. Did I lie? Thank you.
Wait. Anyway, yeah. So
anyway.
No, but for real, guys. I mean, you can't expect a royal family like that racist, that they couldn't even accept someone as established as Meghan, as yellow bone. She's lighter than Pearl Tusi, who thought she could be Oprah. Like, how do they not even accept her? Imagine, Tina. My mom even said, you know what my mom said? Guys, when I was watching the interview, my mom was like, yo,
It would have
literally.
They would have that whole table. They would be shaking up the institution more than an Afrikaans man shaking a table in Spur.
Yeah.
Anyway, I have a bone to pick today, guys. I don't know. Someone made me angry today. I don't know who, but anyway.
If no someone walked in, that's all like.
And then Eddie Murphy comes through with this big, you know.
Candace,
wow, yeah, see, guys, wow, we are really
I think we should change the podcast to What the Shady Relationship.
No, honestly.
No,
but it is a shady relationship because, like, you know, I need to see the white people are like the light, and then the black people come and just bring the shade upon that family because that's what they thought. Because they even questioned. No, it's the truth. It's the truth.
You know what? We're going way too far. I just need Candace to finish what she was going to say, how she felt about
so interesting how
Meghan
today is the anchor.
Yeah, I need you to, because it's very important to me, this conversation.
She's clearly going back to the past, eh? She's remembering things. Anyway, I sort of forced my partner to stay, right? To watch the interview. I don't know what I forced him with.
Yeah,
I was thinking
that. I was like, no, I want what you're using. It's been here for almost 4 years. I want what you're using.
Pee on his teeth. I'm joking.
You know what? We need to bring Mr. M into this podcast to just discuss the relationship that happens every day. Like, what is it like dating Butlelo Pindo? I just want a podcast episode on that. The title will be like, "What it's like dating Butlelo Pindo," and then I think that's the episode. But anyway, back to the conversation. Yes. Okay, so I forced my partner to stay to watch it together because I thought
your partner and
that's the difference.
Miles. Yes, Miles.
Black is your boyfriend. His wife is your partner.
No, but after a certain amount of time, like I think boyfriend is very like primary. Especially it's very
my boyfriend.
No, I just feel like there's also guys, I'm being too academic, but I just feel like when I just say partner, it removes the expectations of like, oh, he's a man, so therefore he makes the decisions. I'd rather just say partner. So it's equal.
Yes,
right?
You're also right. Funny enough, sorry to interrupt you. Funny enough, we also had that conversation with the single where it also plays a part when you guys work together, like some projects. So is your partner, because we have equal rights.
Yes, and we have equal rights.
I do call single my partner.
It depends on certain days. If he's acting emotionally mature, then my boyfriend. But if he's my partner, then he's my partner.
So we would know.
Anyway,
I mean, my boyfriend come here, we're like,
he done did something. Anyway, cool. So we watched the interview together, and I think for me, what really stood out was the fact that Meghan and Harry were experiencing what couples or whatever, mixed couples. What is the actual term? Mixed race couples.
Yes.
No, when you have a baby, it's mixed race, but you're an interracial. Yes. Yeah. Interracial couples face on a daily basis, but they were experiencing it at a more higher level, right? And it was at every shape and form, media, family members, even to the
generational wealth.
Yeah, to the point of what Meghan was eating. I was like, guys, are you trying to victimize Meghan for eating an avocado? What? So it was very telling. But I think what was very telling for me in that interview was that being in an interracial relationship, your partner, as a Black woman, your partner can't really protect you from everything that you experience as a Black woman.
Yeah,
he might understand, but there's certain things like when we're going out to a restaurant that I am getting more looks than he is. He can't protect me from that.
Yeah.
And that's just that's just the reality of it. And you know, in as much as we live in a democratic society, we still have certain people that feel that, you know, interracial relationships is a sin because you're mixing of this and that and that. But it's like, well, love is love. But how about that? How love is love?
I think, yeah, interracial relationships in my family have, like, those families are actually more privileged because I realize because they actually treat it differently.
Yes.
For example, I have like a pair of uncles, right? So they're twins. And the one married a black woman, the other one married
like their shoes. A pair of uncles.
Yeah, well, one is Nike, the other one Kima Tom Tom. So
Oh.
it really makes sense. So the other one married a white woman, right? Lovely woman. She gave birth to the most beautiful colored children I've ever seen in my life. My uncle gave birth to the most beautiful dark-skinned kids I've ever seen in my life. Guess who's treated better?
Oh,
yeah.
Even that conversation doesn't even have to be like mixed race. In families, just like the lighter complexion of kids are always treated better. For example, like I'm pretty dark, like, but I know I'm not the darkest woman out there, but I was treated better compared to like my sister or my other siblings because I carry the genes of my great mother who was pretty light. So it's just like sometimes I see that privilege, but it's like it's not privilege enough. But I understand what my sister goes through because if I enter another room, like I know for a fact I'm not the lightest person in that room. So just in general, like skin complexion is a thing.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Look, I think for me, people think I've always dated white men since I was born, but no. I only dated two. The second one I'm with is the person I'm currently dating.
I was surprised when we were going to your birthday to hear that like Candace had an entire ginger man, like a white man.
Yeah.
And I was like, Candace, is this
guys, but let me tell you, when I say I'm a humanitarian, I will go all over. Okay. I've been with a Zimbabwean man, I've been with a Zulu man, I've been with a Portuguese man, and I've been with a man from Edenvale, unfortunately. You see when I say
if you're dating a man in Edenvale, he's cheating on you.
You see what I'm saying? I'm a international hand, and now I'm with German Afrikaans situation. You know, it's the best of both worlds.
It's crazy because I'm also like that. Like going back to like a little bit of my past, like I have always been, unfortunately, emergency black token black girl, and not because I was appropriate looking or like I had the European features, but because of my financial background, the white people felt like they can relate to me more compared to the black girls. Yeah, compared to like the black girls who were catching taxis after school and like
you were getting driven, darling.
Like my mom was like one of the white, it's nothing to be proud of because obviously like. But my mom was like one of the, the white parents who would be there immediately when the bell rings and I go home. So a lot of the white boys just resonated with me more, and I lived in the same neighborhoods that they did. So they would say snacks comments like, "If I ever had to date a black girl,
hey dog."
Then I would be the token black girl. And I used to be like, what the fuck, bro?
What the Love Island is that?
What the fuck is that?
Yeah.
So that never excluded me from dating like white guys. I have hooked up with some white boys.
Just to dabble.
I've never.
Just to
Too
dabble.
much tongue. Let's talk about white guys and kissing. Too much tongue.
Guys, I've never been with a white guy, so this is all new to me. I've only ever been with black men. Black foreign men too. I've been with the Namibian. I've been with the Zimbabwean.
I love how we're objectifying them. Like you're like some tin
Oh
can
no, honey,
in
they're
a shop.
very,
I've been with this. I've had
very
this milk.
different from South
I've had
African
this.
men.
Yeah, no, they are
Very different from
They
South
are.
African men. They take care of you. They don't kill you.
Wow.
Yeah, just the basics. The basics.
Wow.
But anyway, child, I've never been with a white man. I'd love to be with a white man, especially now that I'm single. It would be very interesting to experience that. But I think
I can give you advice. I can give you advice about the dating pool of interracial situations, right? I remember. Oh God, I'm triggered already.
Look,
Look,
as far as I've realized with white men, first of all, they move quick.
it It depends. It depends on who. Look, you guys, you get your spectrums, right? So you get your hey, Jono, I'm going to Virgin Active. I'm just driving in my Ford
I go
ST.
to Virgin Active, Jono.
I'm drinking, my protein whey. Those ones, right? Who only are in Parkhurst every Friday at Jolly Rogers. You know who I'm talking about. Okay? Then
you ordering those jobs. We know it's you. Those beer jobs.
Right? Then you get your sort of like artist, my mom was in the ANC Women's League for a bit, and then she's a bit of a problematic Karen, but he's a hipster, hangs out with the, looks cute, but then you get your type from the East, the Benoni, the pull up in the city golf with khaki shorts and
clothes,
Jesus sandals.
COVID-19 finish.
You get your spectrum of white guys. I think I've dabbled in sort of all of them.
Okay, and you defended yourself like you weren't saying.
No, the thing is, I'm I want to experiment. I'm an academic. Human behavior is my thing, right? So let me experiment.
Where
do you guys find white people?
Tinder.
School. Actually, that is a good question.
I'd never date the white guys from my school. Never.
Have white friends. There's always that one white guy who wants to experience like being with a black girl.
Oh, and they fetishize you, like,
yeah.
Oh my gosh, they say black booty is better than white.
I mean, it may be true, but
don't do
that. Don't do that. Don't be with me just because of my booty.
Yeah.
Like,
no, I've actually seen it on Tinder.
But black guys do that all the time, though.
Yeah, but it's black on black, like violence. The thing is, I've even seen it on Tinder before. I've seen it on Tinder before, where you'll match with this super hot white guy, and you're thinking, yes, Jesus.
Yeah, and he literally looks like.
Where I say, I've got that jungle fever for you. And
stop.
I hate it. The moment when you say, I don't see color.
I don't care if you're pink, purple, blue,
get the DA out of here.
You know, like, the white people that actually I've noticed that actually notice like South African women is like European, like overseas
white people.
Not Africana or
not Montenegro.
No. You see those. Too much conflict. Like, let's not do that. But I've noticed like if they are from like Europe.
Yes,
they're more like
and they like
dark women.
Yo,
you call them
dark women.
Can I tell you? Okay, I'm gonna tell you about this one guy. Girl, we're not not that person. Not that person.
Burn my damn skin.
Let me tell you about this one guy from France.
I can taste.
Guys, when I say Tinder was nice. Tinder 2016, 2017 Tinder.
This is the perfect description of what white guys are looking for. Every time I meet Candace, I'm like,
they look for those African features, like the beautiful lips, like the dark skin. Bongai as well. Bongai is a perfect candidate.
You guys are perfect.
You know when she revealed the good to her man, I was like, exactly. It makes sense. Sarah Badman.
Even Candace is English.
No, it's the way you described me, friend. Like, also that's
rest in peace.
First of all, even Candace is English is like you can go into the household.
Oh my!
But I think this conversation. For me personally, I'm that person, but I can't even say.
Exactly, and sometimes it's ish, yes, so I think that's why.
And
I suspect that's why about food.
And I have a friend who Helen, like every time I meet her, I'm like, "Hi, Mbase," like, and she knows now. Like I remember the first time we met, like she knows. But now I'm like, "Oh, like right?" And then I'm like, "Hey, Helen, right?" She answers now, so Candace has that feel.
Look, I think in the first interracial relationship that I was in 2014 to 20 whatever, I was silenced. Definitely, right? I had to like sort of be prim and proper because his family's was British, whatever, I don't know.
Hey,
so I just anyway, I had to like be prim and proper. There were certain microaggressions that I didn't enjoy when I was at dinner tables, and they were saying things about, black people. And I'm like, well, I'm the only black person. Yeah. So who are you referring to? I hated that. I hated that shit. And I think also one instance where I was walking into his family home, and then the mother openly said, hide all the valuables, the black girlfriend is coming.
Wow!
I would steal everything. Yeah, what if you say that to me? If you hide your wallets to me, I'm not going to steal your wallet. I'm going to steal that ring that your great mother gave you. That's a pearl that you can find Golo Visa. I would steal even your shoes that you wore on your wedding day in 1952. I would steal everything. If you're going to say to hide your wallet, I'll show you why you must hide your wallet.
Jokes aside.
No, but that's crazy though.
How did that make you feel?
It was really upsetting because I felt like it wasn't like we started dating a week or so. It had been like 6 months into our relationship.
Would she say this in front of you?
I literally walked in and she said it to the sister. So
I feel like Oprah.
Wait, who was having that conversation? Yes, that type of situation. And it was the mother to the sister. So
what did you think she was doing
in the situation, I don't even know. But in that situation, when I told my ex about it, he was just like, don't make me choose between my mom and you. I'm like, it's not a matter of choosing. It's a matter of defending what is right and what is wrong. And in this instance, what your mom was wrong because she's racist. She made an assumption about the fact that I was going to steal valuables, knowing how many times have I been in her house. So either way, I just find, you have a spectrum of white guys that you will experience. And I don't think you should completely disregard them. You do have your fair share of like assholes who are like
saying not all white men.
No, not that, but like
I'm joking.
You will. What I'm trying to get to, Nsako, is that there will be a lot of white men that will be attracted to you.
Yes. Julius Malema for like certain.
And they will probably be someone who's into that.
Megan is Julius Malema right now in her relationship.
Do you know the UCT SRC president, the white guy, Declan?
Yes.
Yeah.
Hi, Declan. Hi. For me, when we discuss racism, right? I always say to my sister, I'd rather have someone tell me to the face that I'm a K-word than the microaggressions. Because
I hate the microaggressions.
It's like, say what you say, but with your chest.
Yeah.
Don't now be like, I love Michelle Obama.
I voted for Obama
twice. It's like, oh, yeah. Okay. And then what? And then it's things like, I really question myself about your hair. Why is it just so like that? Like the microaggressions for me are the thing that actually drive me crazy. I'd rather have someone say you are a K-word. I can say that.
Yeah, you can say that.
But I think the thing about interracial relationships is that you experience the microaggressions. I think the most macro aggression we've experienced was, where were we? Manguzi, in KZN. We're going to a traditional
the
wedding.
Boyfriend behind the scenes is going, by the way.
He's busy. He's busy. I don't know. He's trying to get the land, I hope. Anyway, so we were in Manguzi. He was filling up petrol, and there was this white guy and his father looking at Miles for like the entire time he's filling up petrol. They were thinking he was probably being held hostage, or he was looking at him like, why are you in a car with this black girl, right? So it was very awkward, that whole situation, because I didn't know how to like interact. Like I even felt scared, like getting my phone on his lap or trying like just to touch him because I wasn't sure what they were going to do in response.
Oh, wow.
We drive out of the petrol station, and as we were driving past, there's a bakkie with white guys in there, and the one guy just pulled like a middle finger to us. And I think that's the most macro we've experienced from white people. We haven't experienced any macroaggressions from black people. Even when we're in Manguzi at the traditional wedding, they're like, "Oh my gosh, this is so cute!" They love it.
People love
They love it. But the macroaggressions experienced from white people, and I think rightfully to say conservatives, because it's a thing of like in apartheid, interracial relationships was outbanned, was outlawed. So why are you doing it now? And I think it makes it worse. I don't know about his side of his family, but I don't know if they're like, oh my gosh, Miles is with a black girl. Oh my gosh, do we need to like baptize him? And I don't know if they've had that conversation or those concerns with him because he hasn't told me. But yeah, I mean, on my part of the family, they don't mind.
So I
guess not.
So tell me, like, sorry,
Tell me, girl.
I'm here. I'm the Oprah vibes here, trying to. So tell me, like, from the whole interview with Megan and Harry, like, what was the one thing that you resonated with that conversation where you were like,
what triggered you?
This is something I've been through.
Like I said earlier, the things that your partner wishes he can protect you from, but he can't protect you from everything.
Jesus.
So, in as much.
Okay, I need to stop. Wait.
She's resonating.
Yeah.
And so there's certain things that I think, entering this relationship, Miles had to unlearn his unconscious bias. He was very woke. I want to say woke, but I don't know, enlightened about the general politics of South Africa and him knowing about his white privilege. But there's certain things that I have to call him out on in our relationship, right? Yeah. And then there's certain things as a Black woman where I'm just trying to exist, firstly. Then I also have to manage my work, my career, my academics, and then now manage our relationship. But in terms of our relationship, manage the perceptions of what other people are seeing in our relationship. Because there's moments where we'll be walking out and then there'll be some lady looking at us thinking, oh, she's just in it for the money, or oh, he's just in it for the...
what if she is?
You're not.
What's the problem? What's the problem? Exactly, what's the problem? But I just feel like in the beginning of our relationship, I was very sensitive towards those looks, because I think in my previous relationship, I had a partner who genuinely was like, oh, I don't give a damn what people say. I'm just with you because of your, I don't see color.
Okay,
and
they weren't willing.
He wasn't willing to have those conversations about how race impacts our relationship. So being with someone now who's like, I totally understand what you're saying, but don't give it too much attention, it's a little bit different. It's a little bit calming.
And you tackle from the Harry and Meghan thing, what was because even though it was all racial and I could understand the tension between they're racist, basically them being different people, but there was still a takeaway for me in terms of relationship wise.
Definitely.
And what was yours in that sense?
I think it was the indirect patriarchy, because I heard her say things that for me, as a Zulu and Tsonga woman, where we are literally in probably the most patriarchal cultures, right? Where she said things like, it triggered me, where she said things like, I had to Google the national anthem, and she said I was trying to be good for them.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. I was like, dude, I've been in a situation like that where I literally felt like, you know what, let me just try my best. I mean, even in my previous relationship, I tried to learn their language to communicate with them, because I felt really left out, because they always speak this language and I'm like, I don't understand. And I understand most South African languages, but this specific one is a new one. I don't want to mention it because then it will be an obvious thing of who it is.
Yeah.
But for me, it was just the fact that Uti, as a woman, even they just don't see her. But the fact that Uti, another thing. Oh my goodness, this one every woman relates. Crying at 2 a.m., depression, and then the next day you're wearing makeup and you're showing up the next day.
Yeah.
Oh my
gosh. Relatable content.
Yes, has been that.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. There's not a single woman that I know that has never been through that. Where you have been crying, you've been depressed, you've been upset, you just feel like, there's no reason for me to live. And then you wear those lashes, you tie your hair back, you wear that beautiful dress that hugs you so much, and you still show up like the most beautiful woman in that place.
Serious.
That's what triggered me. I was like,
as Black women, we carry that weight
every
single day, and double.
Exactly. And you know what's crazy for me is that Megan doesn't even identify herself as Black. She doesn't say that I'm a Black woman. No, she says I'm a mixed race woman. That for me is just a reminder of how conscious she is within herself.
Yeah.
That for her, she didn't expect to see. But guys, I've also got white in me, so don't be mad.
That's the one thing I enjoyed about her. She was very careful, understanding that she's a Black woman, but also understanding that she's carrying genes of a white woman and she's mixed race. So that at this point, she can basically relate to every woman.
Yeah.
So she, even her conversations with Oprah, you could tell that she was coming from a woman's point of view and not from a Black or a white or a mixed race.
Just from a human point of view. Yeah.
And that was so beautiful. I have one more question. I have a lot of questions.
You clearly do. But my question, hold up. My question to you is, please tell us about your past.
Yeah, I'm actually very interested in that.
How long was it? And then you said something about kissing.
Oh no, it was high school past.
Oh yeah, no, we disregard that. Hey guys, no. Hey, not Chono.
No, I just prayed that
Yeah.
I've been the type of person, like, I grew up in a very, like, privileged background, even though, like, I had my own struggles, like, with my family, but we got to a place where we were very privileged as Black people.
Yeah.
And at that point, like, it gives you so much access on the type of people that you can date and you attract and you're attracted to without even thinking of color and any of those things. I remember, like, probably my first crush was like this fine Indian boy.
Ooh!
But I wasn't thinking like he's Indian. I was just like my classmate.
Yeah.
Like,
okay.
Type of thing. So that has always been my experience, and like going to like high school parties, like, you know, high school, like I don't think everyone necessarily is thinking about race, but everyone's just thinking about, I need my first kiss. I need to just kiss. So that's my experience with white boys, but also like obviously later on when I evaluate the relationships that I had with the boys, I'm like, wait a damn minute, the things that they were saying were quite
problematic.
Racist.
It was
problematic.
It really was. I remember we had a specific lesson, and there was this one boy. He said, I will never, ever, ever, ever date a Black girl. And we're like, in South Africa, where the demographic is majority, why? He's just like, I cannot do it. And we're like, why? I just won't do it. Why? No, because my family. Why? And we're just trying to get to the point that you're actually, you know, you're racist.
Yeah.
Because the fact that it is so deplorable, so disgusting for you to conceive being with a Black girl. Like, that was the high school that I was a part of. But then it was the same type of high school at these parties. It was like, oh, you know, I just grabbed Candace's butt by mistake. Oh, and it was so great. You literally use me for exploitation. That you and your friends can kiki. We can go so on about just how high school and Black women were just fetishized for the white man's gaze. I hate it.
I think racist white men still see us as Sarah Batman, honestly.
Yeah.
No, definitely.
Without a doubt.
Definitely.
I think that is so weird and rapey on so many levels.
Definitely.
But I also want to speak about the white guys who are snatching our queens.
Yay! Candace Chirwa.
Those are always international guys. Those are international guys, not our South African guys who are exposed to racism. You. So
AfriForum.
Via Plus.
I think like
Cliff Central.
Wow! Not Candace Chirwa.
Guys, I'm just saying, these are the oaks. These are the oaks. I'm listening to the oaks, hey?
The oaks. I hate the fucking oaks.
Okay, friend, you're on a point.
Yeah, I know.
You're getting somewhere, yeah? International.
It's always the international guys that are always dating like South African women or just like Black women in general. Let me not say South African women who are more open-minded because their ideal of racism is not embedded on hatred as compared to like South African men.
And also I feel like the racism of like, okay, let me think about this. But like when I think of like the German friends that I have and how they see racism, they literally just see it as a thing of the past, right?
Yes.
And the racism isn't as embedded deeply like South Africa, where it's in our institutions, it's in everywhere, the air, we breathe, the specific.
But guys, you also need to understand that South Africa is only, I think, 23, 25 years old out of apartheid.
True.
So we are still babies.
But look at how quick Germany, for instance, I'm referring to Germany because is German. Because
Germany implemented
the Nuremberg trials, and they were very also in their policy, you know, like they institutionalized non-racism to be a thing of like, if you are racist, you're going to jail.
Exactly.
You're going to, and it's like, guys, their jail is scary.
And they learned from their past. Like, they literally have it in their syllabus at school where they're like, this is why Hitler was wrong.
So I'm not surprised when I see
we still abolishing everything.
Right?
We're still trying to.
So when I see South African queens with these international, like Tanya, for instance, she's in Switzerland. Her man's is.
Let me tell you something about Switzerland.
Men. Yes.
Swiss men.
They love their chocolate.
They are tall.
Yes. connecting beards.
Guys, when I went to Switzerland, I was like, Mama, I'm moving here because I think the man is here. They are tall.
Yes.
They obviously like the chocolate.
Oh, they do, ma'am. What is
They
mint?
dress so well.
Ooh.
Like they don't dress like, oh my knee, it's like skirt. They dress like
Ooh.
jeans, and they are the most beautiful man I've ever seen in my life. That's when I was like, I need to travel more. I need to see more.
No, you have to. And I think that's what the point I was making when was the last week where I was talking about international Tinder is much better than South African Tinder.
Yeah,
because the clientele on international Tinder.
The clientele.
Ooh!
Shopping.
It's lit. And you know why I say you will have a white man be interested in you is because you'll most likely match with international white men who are coming to South Africa more than South African.
Yes.
And that was me. I matched mostly with international, Edenvale's not international.
Your problem is that you're matching with South African white men.
She hasn't even matched with it. Who have you matched with it?
Not you showing us.
No, can I tell you? I treat Tinder like it's window shopping. Like, you know, when you just want to see what's out there. Like for me.
Ooh! Ooh!
Not this man.
Whoa! Okay, guys. Anyway.
So,
did you say yes to that man? Yes to that man.
Yes to
so
that
as you
man.
can see, all my matches are white.
They are
There's
bearded.
only just one, but that's because I just found him cute, right?
Okay.
And most of them are also from overseas. So one of the guys, his name is Victor, literally said to me, so if I understand correctly, I missed the most beautiful
woman
when I was in SA. I want to come back to see your crazy beauty.
Yes,
period.
That's how my wish.
I don't want to lie. If I was single, I think I would dabble a little bit in like
just
white men
dip your toe in the pool.
Just to actually, to be honest with you, not even like romantic or anything like that. Just to take them back home to Islali, to my grand's place, and to be like,
Mama, you told him no.
So we have a question here.
Okay,
we have a question here, guys.
From chat.
Tabo James Maboya. May I ask though, does only seeing yourself dating your race and make you racist, sir?
No, it doesn't. It makes you have a preference.
Yes.
So
just have a preference.
You must, so you must be careful with fetishizing and this is coming from white men if it's not your caliber of woman that you're not used to in the area.
Right.
So you must be careful with fantasizing and the whole thing of like your preference. So preference goes with like general things like their personality, how they carry themselves, like just things, basically inside things. And then fetishizing goes into the space of like, if you're not used to, because generally like white women look different to black women,
right?
And if you go, they must have a big butt,
right?
They must be dark, and that's a specific thing.
If you are fetishizing based on physical attributes, on assumptions that which are very racist,
when you're stereotyping, with
I think there was this question or this conversation I was having with a friend where he was like, do you not think like influencers like Shonda Rhimes, how she only usually puts interracial couples on her show, do you not think it also creates that fetishization? And it's like, well, at the end of the day, you have the agency to choose, right? So you're watching like Scandal, you're watching what is the other, Bridgerton, and then you're like,
she kind of slipped up. How to get away with murder also. Like,
how to get away with murder.
She ended up with a woman, a black woman.
Yeah, so I just feel like we obviously we have to look at where we're getting that fetishization, but at the end of the day, you have the agency to choose. And I think that's something I had an issue with my ex. Oh, I have an issue with my ex today. My ex was always like, I only date black women because of their body. So what about their personality? What about their soul? What about what they do?
He probably didn't care what the mom said, because for him it was physical and not emotional.
Sarah Putman vibes, bro.
It was. And so you can always pick that up in the conversation. If the person's like, oh, just show me more of your body, fetish. But if they're like, oh, tell me more about yourself, I want to like hang out with you, you seem like a cool person, then there's an interest to know you.
Yeah.
And I think that's something like, if you're a black woman listening to this podcast, you're like, I actually do want to dabble my whole foot in that vanilla pool, you know? Really just look out for the signs as to say, if they're really just more interested in like, send me nudes, how big is your booty, then I think that's also in general, like if men are just really about you, physical attributes, get out of there. But if they're like, I really want to get to know you, show me like not show me more about yourself, but just you know, you get the tea.
I think you always catch like when you're being sexualized, like you'll always
true.
like feel it, you'll be uncomfortable,
But I won't
you won't
lie
feel like
though.
this relationship is
I won't
about
lie.
you.
When you're being sexualized,
I can't
dance.
see what the hell didn't look at sexual and okay, worry because who can this?
Now it's not just your local ancestors, there's international ancestors involved.
But they fear most because they came to colonize, so they're everywhere.
But if your man is from like, you know, Finland or Switzerland or whatever, he comes to visit you and you're in a long distance relationship and he's coming to visit you and then you guys do rounds, I'm telling you, there's a inter ancestral situation going on there. But anyway, that's another topic for another day.
I can't see under something like I can't put my words around it. There's something very different about you. I don't know if it's Chloe or like
I don't know, hey?
Like you are just
must be that global citizen bag.
Oh.
Anyway, let's go. Yes.
Anyway, another thing I wanted to ask about the whole Meghan and Harry thing.
Yeah.
Like, outside of the racial thing, the whole family. Let's go into the family. Let's talk about men protecting their spouses because you know
they don't. South African men don't do that. So let's just rule that out already. Thank you very much. South African men do not do that. Specifically, South African black men do not do that. They allow, especially that mother-son relationship is the most toxic thing out there because those mothers are in charge of their crappy sons. First of all, second of all, they'll be like, "No, but there's my mom." We know it's your mother, damn it. If it wasn't your mother, you would have slept with her, right? Exactly. Protect us. You can't be like, on Instagram, I choose you every day. I choose you. And then behind closed doors, you're choosing your mom. Go sleep with her then. Stop being with me then.
Not us going, go sleep with her.
No.
No, but for real, I'm so sick of, you know what? I think maybe but I'm so sick of men, especially in SA, bruh. Like,
just because SA men in general.
Yes, because I don't know how they're always like, oh, SA men, we need to do better. Do you guys actually know how to
What
do
is
that?
Nah. Is that in your vocabulary?
No, not. You can't be like, okay, I love you so much. I choose you every single day. And then whenever your mother does something disrespectful towards me, you run to her defense. You decided to date me. You decided to come and disturb my peace. Leave me alone if you love your mother more than you love me.
And that's the thing, like we're not saying don't love your mom or anything.
But
I think there should be
umbilical cord, damn it.
Yeah, there should be like a balance of like how you communicate with your mom and your girlfriend. Because obviously you're trying to grow this family with your partner and you're out here like trying to grow a family with your mom.
It's Bates Motel, you know, it's like Norman
Bates.
It's weird.
It's just weird, like, and the thing is like families can be very toxic because not even because they acting out of character, because people grew up differently. Like if I go into Candace's home and Candace's home, they have a different type of rules. And if Candace doesn't tell me like how to act when he's home, not that I should act out of character, but obviously Candace's family can be like, "Ooh, for what?" Then I'm gonna just walk in, open the fridge. Because in my family, all I know, all my friends, I'm like, open the fridge, I'm hungry.
Exactly.
Like my mom comes back from work and my friends are making eggs there. That's the lifestyle my house has always
and that's very interesting that you mentioned because especially in interracial relationships, the household dynamics are very different. This is something I personally had to like deal with the first year in our relationship with Miles. His household, okay, he was staying by himself, but like when I used to go over to his mom/dad, it would be a thing of like, yeah, go up, go do it. You know, you come in, you can chill wherever you want to, but like in my household, you have to greet my parents first. Sometimes you sit on the couch, you have a conversation with them, then you go and do what you gotta do.
Yeah.
And still to this day, I think my parents have gotten over it. I don't know if they have, but he does this thing of like, okay, I'll follow Candace everywhere she goes. Even if she's going to her bedroom, I will go there. Even if she's going Even if she's going to the kitchen, I'll go there.
But it's not with ill intent.
Yeah, it's not of ill intent. It's just like it's a thing of like I don't know what I'm cute here. So so there is a difference.
I'm looking at a video. I'm like,
so there's that difference because when I go to his parents' house, I sit down, I have a conversation with them until I'm instructed to, you can go do whatever you want to. Mans is like, oh, hi, how you guys doing? Okay, I'm going here. And my parents are just like, okay, but they're used to it now because it's been 4 years.
Yeah.
Like, what should happen? So there is definitely that dynamic that's very different, especially in interracial relationships, where when you introduce them to your family house, they're probably going to be like, so what must I do? Because in my house, we're totally fine with like walking barefoot.
You're definitely the same in my relationship. Who sits down and like waits.
Yeah.
I'm walking like even with his family, like I just talk to everyone and go to different rooms because I'm like, you know what, I'm here to stay.
With my ex, the biggest problem was the fact that like in my family we walk around like naked.
Oh yes,
I used to do it. No, but the thing is, I used to do that at his place, and he was just like, "What
by
are
yourself.
you doing? You're done."
Oh yeah, obviously.
I'm downstairs. You're like,
I'm
"What are you doing? Yo, go put something on." I'm like, "Oh, weren't you just?"
Why are you acting like you don't know all the things?
Like, so like even then, also like dishes and like triggers. It's fine.
No, I get that. Also in my family, it's like 3 women. It's me, my mom, my sister, and then my little brother. And my little brother, all he knows is like all the women in the house walking around naked. And my mom till this day, she says like it's gonna be very hard for her to get married because if a man comes into this household, like the children are not gonna be free anymore to walk around. Because even my brother walks around now with his like underwear.
Yeah,
it's just a thing that we do. So now, if you bring somebody else into the household, you have to house.
Yeah.
So my mom has always been skeptical about getting married for those reasons because she's like, my children need to be comfortable in their home.
Wow.
And when you bring a man into the house and he starts sexualizing,
now you bring a Jonathan. Now you bring a Jonathan.
Listen,
hey guys, it's hard.
Yeah, I'm proud of my dad. He really protects his partner in my family because my family can be very toxic. My family's very toxic from my dad's side. And one thing
no hair.
And one thing about my dad is that he's the one who taught me like protect the person that you love. My dad, if you fucks with even my mom actually, if you fucks with my kids or anyone that I love, we're packing our car today and we're leaving now, even if it's at 12 o'clock. And my mom does that till this day. Like my sister told me a story about my aunt like making my brother cry and my grand didn't defend my brother, and my mom left the house at 12 o'clock at night. Was like, the one thing that's not going to happen is my kids to be unhappy where I am. They left, and my dad does the same thing. So the whole thing of defending, like that's how I find the courage to defend Sibo with my family. Like not that they say anything nice, because I know for fact they don't have the room to say anything nice when I'm
no, that's right.
Okay.
But if they have something to say, I'm like, you better watch your words and be careful.
Better watch your mouth.
You say. If you don't know the full facts and you're just predicting what you're predicting, just be careful what you say. And that's what I enjoyed so much about Harry. Harry was like, hey man, if you are not sure about something, don't speak out of your ass.
Yeah.
But
he's always been like that though. He's always been like that. I think what he mentioned that was key was that he said meeting Megan made me really realize how trapped I was in this institution, but also made me unpack my unconscious bias, because I think he didn't realize how privileged he'd been.
Yeah.
Right? And so being with an American mixed race woman coming in from like, because guys also understand, Megan was writing letters to corporations at the age of 12 based on sexist language used in advertising, right? That's the type of woman she is. So now she's coming to you and she's like, why am I quitting? Why am I, and he's just like, it's unraveling for him. His world is literally unraveling.
And I think it crazy? Sorry.
That is what interracial relationships are, because you're getting a different world of like, I'm a Black woman, my world is always on fire, and here you are, a white privileged man who has been told to not really acknowledge it, but now your woman is telling you to acknowledge it. You know, so how does that like work in
Candace, I was gonna say I have.
What is that? So just a side note for people who are watching, we have our editor here. He sits here, and every time we do something, he does the craziest sign language that isn't like sign language.
Hell?
So right now he was doing something. You remember that guy at Nelson Mandela's funeral? That guy. And then we're just like, what are you saying? I think we just need to create a key to say, if this is this, don't ban. If this is this, you're making a I don't know. But anyway, the point I was making is to say I was distracted. The point I was trying to make is that when you get into interracial relationships, on top of the admin of just being in a relationship, there's now the admin of just sort of unconscious bias and learning every single day, and also tolerating each other. Because I come from a household where there were things that are meant to be done a certain way, and he comes from a household where things are meant to be done a certain way. So now when we start our family, we have to basically set up that new institution of this is how we want to grow up, grow our children and all that jazz. Make your own traditions, guys.
But isn't it crazy how like only a Black woman could go through what Megan went through and survive it?
Yeah.
Because I don't like why we understand hardship so much that only someone like her could go through that, and it's very unfair. And number two is that like you know how white people are like, this is how I was raised, I'm trying to understand, and I don't know if it's racist or not, but Harry, from the minute she met Megan, he knew something was not right. Maybe he couldn't fully articulate it all his life, but finally he had someone to explain it to him.
Understand,
and that's all we say to white people. We're like, we understand maybe you were raised up in a home where you made to see color and be racist, but you have the knowledge, and you have Google, and you have all these things where you can unlearn and understand what people are going through.
Exactly.
So for me, no matter how much the whole thing was about racism and the conversation between Megan and interracial couples, but it was also a thing of like, white people actually don't have an excuse of why they're racist.
Yeah.
Because if Harry can get out of a toxic family like that, then who are you just to correct your dad to be like, bro, that's not how we're gonna speak. Your boyfriend saying, Mom, we're not gonna say the Black girl's coming, let's hide things like that. Just small things like that. So for me, I was like, yeah, finally, national TV. White people can see, you can unlearn this. So thank you, Harry.
I just think like on that topic of the Black girls coming home, it's very interesting for me how not only did I experience the microaggressions from his family, but I also experienced it from his friends as well. And there was no form of like recourse and like telling his friends, look, I'm with this girl, like please respect her.
Crazy.
Like nothing whatsoever. And so if you ever find yourself in a situation where you're interracial, you're, what can I say, mixed other race, boyfriend, partner, I don't know. Other race. Other race partner is not defending you based on something that you can't really change.
Yeah.
You know, then have the cameras. I just found it really ridiculous that every time I went to dinner parties, I was just always like told, oh, Candace, I don't think you should be too loud, you know, because we're in a quiet neighborhood, or you know, like
you're talking about
as if one person would just,
dude, and things like, oh yeah, you know, we Candace, are you fine with that not having pop today? Like, what the fuck?
What,
guys?
They did not say that.
First time I saw on the relate.
Good, but
damn, right? Like, what the hell? So I just find that if you're in a situation where your relationship is toxic based on the stereotyping of your skin color, cut the cameras. And it's very difficult to navigate that relationship. But if you're with someone who is willing to understand and unlearn and learn, you're good.
Before our final words, I'd love to hear what Emilio has to say.
I think so too.
Come through.
Emily.
Miles.
Emily. Wild.
Has to say.
Emily Pap.
You know, we cut the cameras. Let's go.
Hi.
Hello.
guys. Welcome to What the Relationship Studio. You got here so quickly. Wow.
Thank you very much. I mean, it's
How was the traffic?
hectic. Hectic.
Okay.
The TUT and me wanted to go and help the protests outside.
Period.
Yeah,
Ish.
say what you gotta say. Say what you gotta say.
So, Candice mentioned I was forced to watch that interview. I was not forced. Listen, Oprah's an insanely good interviewer.
Yeah.
Like, I got drawn in. Also,
Mm.
hang on. Are we?
Yeah,
Can I?
yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Don't judge me.
Okay.
Okay. Oprah's really good as an interviewer, and I haven't had the chance to appreciate it. Because like she was asking stuff like I was thinking, like she read our minds.
Yeah. She's really
That's
good.
the one thing.
So
Yeah.
like fair play to her. Holy moly, she earns that money.
Mhm.
Anyways,
Hmm.
on a completely other level though, hey, the Royals is a thing that I don't know why it exists at this point, but my favorite one is Harry.
Yes.
Yeah, even though he's no
All of
longer part
us
of the family,
stand
we
king.
stand. Now,
Honestly,
stand. He's
no,
a
no,
real
like-
king. He's a real king.
honestly though, right? Like if your family are being absolutely like asshole vibes about who you choose to love, well, in some cases not even choose, because love is one of those things, right? And they are not letting up, right? What really shook me was it's not that Meghan or Harry were like struggling with a problem and they couldn't speak up about it, or they didn't go, hey, listen, uncle, this and this and this and this is something that can be better, or hey, could you not mention that, or hey, could we maybe not pour chlorine in the moment that Meghan leaves the swimming pool?
Yeah.
You know, one of those kind of vibes,
Yeah.
right?
All she asked for was protection.
and respect.
And I mean, she's part of the family, right?
Yeah.
It's not like they didn't go through those channels. It's that they did, and no one cared, right? I mean, at that point, what do? You know, because it's that whole like family versus the person I love type of thing.
Leave your family today, guys.
Because honestly, like
Disappoint
you
your
can't.
family.
The whole, like the whole point of it is, you can change someone, but like if that someone is just not taking hints at all ever, I mean, really now you're gonna disappoint yourself, right? A, B.
That was still an A.
No.
He literally had 8.1,
Sorry.
8.2.
Yeah.
Now you're okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
but seriously, I like there was so many things that I.
It was still an A.
No, this is point B.
B.
But
Yeah.
you're still referring to A.
No, B.
No.
Okay.
B.
Candace,
This
let
is
man
point
speak.
B. Point
Let this white
B
man speak.
for 2 minutes. Sorry,
For 2
I'm
minutes,
I'm really taking this over. I'm so
Silence you,
sorry.
my black queen.
Silence.
No, but seriously, like there's so many stuff that I have, like I have so much sympathy for Harry, because there's like
So it's
small
still point A.
small stuff. No, not so much. It's just like point A. Dang it, you got me
Okay,
confused here.
Okay, yeah.
No, but like there's so much stuff that has happened that I mean, you don't catch as much, even if you're like open-minded and whatever.
Yeah.
You know, I studied at TUT. I mean, really, if you're not open-minded by the end of that process, you cannot be saved
Ignorance is bliss.
on this
my husband
at
is
that
40.
point. Anyway, point is,
Yeah, okay.
point is,
Point what? See now.
then you get into a
Okay.
relationship with someone as beautiful as Candace,
Right.
and blessed with melanin of the whereabouts of Malawi, with features that, I mean, listen, you know, I 3D model, but modeling something as beautiful as this, yeah, I mean the proportions.
Yes.
together with the absolutely amazing person that she is inside.
Oh, yeah.
And
Oh,
Candace, like, you start getting to know someone like Candace, and you see all of these really good things, and it infuriates you so much when other people can't see past point one. It is awful, and people should stop doing that shit. Damn it.
Yeah.
Sorry, rant over.
Thank you so much, Emilio. Love me.
Thank you for having me.
Someone like that I can think of what you get, what you see. Oh! And I can be in the moment why, yeah. Love me.
Hi,
I don't love me. I don't love me. Yes.
guys.
You have a smart wife.
I do. Who has land? So
is
that's
it
good.
too late for 11:11?
Hey, girl, 11:11's all the time. Please. Final
Candles.
everywhere. Final thoughts about getting your swirl on?
Find and Zago a white boy.
Yes, please, guys. We're gonna make adverts everywhere. We're gonna put them on posters.
If you know someone, let us hit us up on social media.
I like them tall. I like them very corporate.
Ooh, Tinder's
corporate,
right.
clean.
Tinder.
Like,
What's going on in Tinder?
some they there, but
Yes.
I'm scared of like guys.
No,
If
don't
I
be
can
scared,
show
girl. I will
you,
message them for you on the next episode of What the
Yes.
Relationship. And Saka
Look
will
at
be
them.
with a Caucasian man.
Like
Joe,
On the next episode of this podcast, you'll hear Insako being on a date with a white man. We don't know who it will be, but we'll hear it, okay?
Yeah.
Right?
I don't know.
We'll see.
On that note,
On that note.
thank you guys for listening and tuning into our podcast. We love the support. If you have any topic ideas, you know what to do. You can slide into our DMs.
Not mine.
Not in Sakos. Into our What the Relationship Instagram DMs.
Oh, yeah.
And you can hit us up. If you happen to be a brand,
Wow. You're throwing your shots every weekend.
we would love your DMs in particular. As you can see, we are dry here, so any drink would be great. That's, amazing.
Yeah.
Anyway, on that note from me, Candace.
And Bursha Leia.
And Taco without a white man.
We are out. Bye.